Okay, so what do I mean when I say angels work angles? These are statues made by bisexual guys. Look at the paintings of angels in churches and compare them to fairy images and gay fairies and so on and so forth. I'll make another picture like that to help you see that I'm right. Okay, and you'll see that I'm right. Obviously, they're changing my voice, changing my speech patterns. It's not very hard for somebody who sounds gay to sound different. You know, I'm not gay, okay, and they're making it so that I sound gay in my videos quite often, like a gay guy giving a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, PowerPoint, right? Now think about the word bishop, right? By shop. Okay, so here we have what is often described as angels, right? Archangel Michael casting out Satan, what have you. Satan is a dragon, is some kind of weird goblin-looking person, what have you. See, there's different weapons. See, this kind of spear is different than using this sort of cross weapon as a sharpened stick or spear, okay? Which is different than this sword, which is slightly different than this sword. So they work the angles in terms of the weapons, and they work the angles in terms of the striking. Now, you look at their pose. It's relative to their body structure. It's very similar to a Jew or some kind of Englishman who's arrogant or something. Okay, see how he's not that coordinated? It's part of why they changed my body shape, because they're fixated on these things. They're fixated on statues and arts. Okay, you look at it's like Frodo Baggins. These guys were across the Mediterranean. They had a long-standing trade route relationship with Egypt. Okay, they knew very well that the Cushites were seen as the mightiest warriors in the world. In fact, in the Bible, it says that Ham begot Cush, Cush begot Nimrod. Nimrod found in Babylon. One translation is he's the mightiest warrior on the planet. He was a mighty warrior before the Lord. There was a saying that said, like Nimrod, a mighty warrior before the Lord. And you see the word sword is a play on words for word and dross. In the Bible, like for Shishak, meaning Babylon, is a cryptogram. Rahab, meaning Egypt, is a cryptogram. Okay, Moses' name means to draw out. Okay, so sword, word, draws, spirit and spirit, right? Also spirit, up to par and spar. Okay, and of course rape it, right? These are rapists trying to prevent this from happening. If you look at these guys, their mind isn't right. They're like, ah, hell, just throw them in the dungeon and push them, right? This is how they think. Okay, statues. Speaking of how you think, statues, state, and status, right? State of mind. Okay, what is the state of mind and state of being of these people in the statue? Okay, their essence. A lot of people said the statues have spirits of their own. Okay, all in more than one way. Okay, these statues are in the gender-neutral, female-leaning earth spirit of the Sumerian, right, Mesopotamian, Middle Eastern, Greco-Roman, Egyptian earth deity Gi. Okay, and in martial arts you wear a gi. It's not a coincidence, right? You have a black belt, Kuro Obi, you will wear a gi. Gi is the earth, right? It is the earth receiving the sun spirit, which symbolizes God. And the earth symbolizes the body. It symbolizes the flesh, the material world, and various things like that. And also the feminine energy, you know, Mother Earth and what have you. Okay, also see ki. And this is also another martial art word. Another word for gi is ki. And ki is like the chi energy, the ki energy that flows through your body, the world energy. Okay, versus the ka, which is the spirit. And if you're in the spirit of God, okay, it is obviously greater than the earth energy. Jeb, you know, this is G-E-B, one word, G-B, right? And Jeb is an earth deity in Egyptian mythology. Also Gaia, Gay-I-A, right? Gay-I Alpha. To not obey me, the last worthy and true top martial arts, is to worship, right? Put the word ship, right? They're on board. It's to worship Satan, right? To rebel. The god of this world, 2 Corinthians 4:4, I believe it is, and his Western colonialist illusion lies, which are mainly for the purpose of controlling the sexual behavior of attractive females, right? These are phallic symbols, right? And penis symbols, obelisks, phallic symbols, phallus, okay? Not just weapons. You know, God the Father, the Son, okay? Jesus was crucified on a cross. It symbolizes that they want a cross. And one way to take it is a bunch of LGBT people wanted their way. And when you look at the history of Greece and Rome, it's clear to you, you know, pederasty and the various homosexual activities and homoerotic paintings like in Crete and Athens that was going on at the time. Even in the movie 300, King Leonidas, in an attempt to give the Spartans a PR lift, called the Athenians boy lovers, but they also did the same thing. Okay, the Spartans were gay guys, as far as anyone knows. Okay, there's no reason to believe otherwise. Anyway, you know, bisexual guys, what have you. So they reproduced with a certain kind of bisexual spirit and energy, just like there's spirit, right? They're spearing, right? Spirit, right? And spirit. And you see they're working the angles. This guy's coming from that with that kind of shift of, using torque in that way. Look at his stance. Look at his stance, right? He has his left foot forward, which the Egyptians did a lot in their statues. And see this guy, and they have the wings that symbolize traversing the realms. You see the wings are differently shaped, and there's reasons for that. It's more than just artistic expression. It is a cult. It is cult. The cult continuity of the pagan statues. Think about Pegasus and Perseus, right? The winged horse, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's not a coincidence when after, perhaps thousands of years of describing wings in terms of traversing the realms, right? The bird going to the heavens from the earth and what have you, and some dive into the water and get fish or whatever. Okay, that these people depict it the same way. Okay, these are basically white supremacist, pagan, quote unquote Christians. Okay, and of course the Bible, Jezebel, Bel's another name for Baal. Bible from Biblos, meaning book. Balat, concert of Baal, or female representation of Baal, is the lady of Byblos, where the book is said to come from. And Satan said to be the god of this world. He allowed a book from one of his cult centers to be the book where they talk about God. That's not a coincidence. He's a deity of confusion, storms, chaos, rape, and that's what the Bible produces. Look at the rapes of Native Americans, the rapes of Africans, rape, all this kind of stuff that occurred, all the confusion, them confusing the order. These guys are across the Mediterranean go, that looks cool, man. You tall African guys who do moves better than Jordan, and we're going to pretend the order is us. So you can, what this can be seen as a mockery. It's a mock ritual. They're mocking the African martial artists across the Mediterranean, okay, who in their own book are the greatest warriors in the book, right? Nimrod was a mighty hunter before the Lord, say Babylon, and he founded Babylon, made his cult center, one of his cult centers there, and, culture, cultivation. And Babylon is said to fall. Babylon's referred to as Shishak, she's hawk, right? And the first pharaoh around the time of Joseph was right with God. He even gave Joseph his wife, Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, the priest of On, which is Ra's cult center, which Zeus would eventually superimpose himself on, and you get Baal back. And one of Zeus is basically a Greek form of Baal. Pretty straightforward. There's no other way it could be. Have any questions? Put in the comments. I think it's fucking sick that people don't ask questions, or they just troll and say stupid shit, and then they want to pretend that I'm crazy. And we see that time and time again as a tactic of these kind of group stalkers. We see complete pussies, right? Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Complete cowards going, we don't feel sorry for you. All the bitches that got together, like all the goblins in the movie, and you did you were doing God's work, and you weren't supposed to do that, and we're bitch-ass motherfuckers. Right? Some bitch shit.